It'll be a bit. You know, you got to. All right, it says we're live right now.
Okay.
Okay. Live from the Flow Sports HQ, this orange room, where we just watched the Big Ten announce their pre-seeds, which was really cool to see on the Big Ten network. Shane Sparks running through the whole thing. And there is a ton to react to. The title is not clickbait. These are some shocking seeds that I did not see coming at all. Before we run through weight by weight, a reminder, the criteria for pre-seeds, head-to-head, common opponents record, conference duel record, quality matches, RPI, coaches rankings, conference allocation. So there's a lot that goes into getting a seed, right? So actually, should we go weight by weight, or should we start with like the shockers first off? Like shocking, if you saw the thumbnail, Angelo Ferrari is the 8th seed. That's pretty shocking just at face value. But you've got the craziest one is Christopher Minto is the number 1 seed over Levi Haynes. Levi Haynes, who is, forget the fact that he's a national champion.
He's undefeated this year.
He's undefeated with a win over Minto. To my knowledge, I don't think Levi's missed a match this year. Yeah. Wrestled his entire schedule, beat the guy. So the reality is these seeds, I applaud their bravery. It's courageous. Sometimes you can outsmart yourself. And you put all this stuff in a formula. It's like, oh yeah, head-to-head's good. And what about common opponents record? That's good. But all together made a kind of a toxic brew of these are by far going to be the worst seeded conference tournament. And
it feels like that.
And it's the most important one. So it's not good. But okay.
They can challenge them too. I think that should be said.
Yes.
So like we could see some movement, but if the seeds stay the way they are right now, it just seems pretty wonky. The other part of it is like, will Penn State challenge it, or will he just be like, whatever. Levi's he'll win. You know?
Yeah, exactly. So one thing, a point you've been making pretty consistently is that some of the criteria are just sort of redundant, right? Like you got head-to-head versus field, common opponents or conference dual record are all kind of like the same.
Because it's all isolated in the same like ecosystem of like, they're all wrestling duels. They all are wrestling the Big Ten opponents. And if they wrestle their full schedule, like it's just going to be the same. So it just adds those points up. And so that's maybe the only thing I can think of where things went wrong in some of these places. But like Dean Peterson is the 8 seed.
Yes.
He beat the 2 seed Spencer Moore head to head. Dean Peterson only lost to Bouzakis
and Lillidahl.
That's it. And so it's like, all right, well, he didn't wrestle.
Hasn't win over Spratley. That doesn't really matter for this, but it's like.
Yeah, he has a super high coaches ranking. He didn't wrestle maybe his full schedule. So I understand that part of it, but there's a certain point where it's like, okay, common sense should kick in here. Dean Peterson should not be the 8 seed.
No.
Spencer Moore should not be the 2 seed. So that is like super surprising.
Yeah, Moore seated ahead of Nick Bouzakis. It's just not rewarding quite the right things, right? So at 125, why don't you pull those up?
Yep.
We'll read through them real quick. Lillidahl, the 1, that was obvious, although maybe nothing's obvious anymore. Moore, the 2 from Illinois. Bouzakis, Moran, Indiana. Jory Volks, the 5. Aiden Smith, the 6. Nicolas Rivera, the 7. Dean, the 8. So that's a lot of guys. Now, Dean missed the Nicolas match, right? So they're hurting him. And one thing that Shane is consistently saying is like, they want to reward the guys that are wrestling, which to a degree, you want to, I think all things being equal, you want to do that.
Right.
I think when things aren't equal, you don't want it to be only only being on the mat. So that's where like, the machines will not replace us. Like, I still think you need a human mind looking at this and be like, wait, your 8 seed only lost to the like top 2 ranked guys in the country and he beat your 2 seed. Okay, before we put this in front of people, we need to change this. And as Kozak mentioned, these could be changed, but that's obviously crazy. So what a Dean Peterson matchup means, 1, he will have a first round match or early match against Diego Sotelo,
right,
which was a very competitive match. That was an overtime match. I think Dean would win that again. But then Dean wins that, then he gets Luke Lillidahl, which
is competitive.
And for Penn State, it's like, well, geez, we're kind of Penn State is in a weird way. They don't benefit from some of these seeding mistakes because it sets up some of their guys for some really tough matchups down the line, which we're going to get to. As Hayes Life says, as a Kentucky boy, I love Spencer Moore. You guys are correct. That's big of Hayes.
Yeah,
It's not easy to say.
Right.
No, I actually 133. I agree with this.
Yeah.
Marcus Blaze got the one over Lucas Bird. You say that, hey, they're both undefeated, but the reality is Blaze just wrestled better competition this year, better Big Ten competition this year. He beat Ben DeVino. Bird is a victim purely of the schedule that the Big Ten gave him, not even the one that Illinois made. So no shame in that, but it does. The difference for Lucas and Marcus right now, if you look at these seeds, Lucas will have to beat Ben DeVino. Marcus is looking at Drake Ayala or Zan Fugit, that kind of. So it's definitely a much more navigable path to the finals for Marcus Blaze. So a big beneficiary there. Yes, I agree, Chad. It does look its common sense is sort of not utilized here. But they can still get it right.
Yeah.
So yeah, the 33 goes Blaze, Bird, DeVino, Fugit, Ayala, Van D, Speidel. This is a deep weight. Braxton Brown, the 8, Dylan Schauber, the 9.
Schauber Big Ten champ a couple years ago, right?
That's a crazy first round match. So the big story here in this one is Blaze getting the 1 seed, and I think that's fair, and that one's okay. I don't take issue with that. 41. Not much to talk about here other than Braden Davis got the 7, which is a justified 7. There's no that's an appropriate one.
And Oliveri is, I mean,
the 10.
He hasn't been in the lineup over the last few months, but he's wrestled and he was very good. I think he beat Ryan Jack. But that, I mean, Braden Davis Oliveri is going to be a great first round match. And then the winner of that gets Brock Hardy. And that's going to be competitive, regardless of if it's. I mean, we saw with Braden Davis winning until the 3rd. That's a really tough quarterfinal for Brock Hardy, the 2 seed.
Yeah, no question. So it goes Mendez, Hardy, Vombar, Nasir Bailey for Iowa. We hadn't seen him. He's back. He's the 4. Ragusin, the 5. That's a 4-5. Bailey versus Ragusin. Interesting quarterfinal there. Those are the main things at 141. Of course, they seed all 14 here. We're just not going to read a bunch of names. 49 goes Van Ness, Styles, Zargo, McNeil, Carter Young from Maryland, Chance Lamer, Andrew Clark. Ryder Block from Iowa gets the 8, and he'll have 9, Joffrey. So did anything stand out to you? I mean, Zargo beat Styles.
Yep.
But Styles got the 2 over Zargo.
Yeah, I mean, Ryder Block at the 8 kind of stood out to me, even behind Andrew Clark, who Clark hasn't had a great year. And Block had a very solid start. His loss to Drew Roberts didn't help him at all. But I think he's better than an 8 seed. In this bracket. And yeah, I mean, we saw the Van Ness Ryder Block match was like kind of fun. Yeah, kind of close. So if you're looking at, a close match a fun match for Van Ness early, it could be that one.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, but aside from that, I mean, Chance Lamer at the 6, he's got a pretty decent path. I mean, Zargo's tough, right? Yeah. We've seen what Zargo can do, but decent path to the semis for Lamer.
Yep, no question about that. Okay. So that's 49. 57 is fascinating. So Antrell got the 1. I don't think that surprised us, right? We expect him.
Yeah.
PJ Duke the 2. Cannon Webster the 3. Anthony White the 4.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys.
I don't know about that.
Cam Catcherbone gets the 5. Charlie Millard 6. And you're saying, okay, Brandon Cannon the 7. A guy with a major decision victory over Antrell Taylor this year. A guy who has not lost. This year, he is undefeated. The 7 seed. That's not right, guys. I don't think he should be the 1. Maybe not even the 2. But to have him the 7, which sets up a PJ Duke Brandon Cannon quarterfinal match. I mentioned that Cannon he majored Antrell Taylor. He also beat Charlie Millard, I believe, twice this year.
At least once.
I think he's 2-0 against Charlie Millard, who is the 6th seed, seeded one ahead of him.
Yeah.
It's just not right, guys. That's just not how you do it. Who do you guys think got the most outrageous seeding? I don't know.
I mean, Minto the one.
Minto the one, I think, is
what are we doing? Yeah.
That is the most blatantly incorrect. With some of these, you're like, okay, they're punishing Cannon because he missed matches. What are you punishing Levi Haynes for?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand it. And even I do get it because Cannon, he doesn't have a coach's rank. So he's not in there for that. But it's like still just the common sense clause. You look at it like, all right, we're putting Cannon at the 7. So, I mean, whatever. But even Anthony White as the 4, if you look at rankings, even if you look at coaches' rankings, he's the 15 in coaches' rank, behind Catcherbone, behind Charlie Millard. If you look at our rankings, which are just based on head-to-head, nationwide, and we have Cannon as the 3, Anthony White the 28. Cam Catcherbone's ranked 15. Charlie Millard's ranked 18th. So, like, there's just some big discrepancies here.
Yes. Oh, man. I guarantee that's Trey from Flow Grappling asking if I play guitar. You know I play guitar. Play bass and acoustic guitar. Fender jazz bass. Uncle Hefe definitely listened to FRL this morning because I got that question.
I mean, even here, Catcherbone beat
White.
Anthony White 13-3.
Yeah, I don't know why they definitely. Yeah. Let's go 65.
Okay.
All right. So
yeah, this is crazy too. What are we doing?
Mitchell Messenbrink the 1. Okay. Michael Caliendo the 2. Joey Blaze the 3. He beat him.
Yeah.
Joey Blaze hasn't lost.
He's undefeated.
He's undefeated. Caliendo has 2 losses this year. One of them to Joey Blaze. Like, this is just, I'm telling you, this is the worst seeded conference tournament. I won't say all time because I haven't seen them all.
Mm-hmm.
This will definitely be the worst seeded, and it's for the most important conference, right? They're like qualifications on the line. Big Ten titles are on the line. There's a lot on the line here. If you're gonna seed it, you may as well get it right. So if you're gonna do something, do it well. This is not well done.
It's got to be this common opponents
record
has got it, because that's worth 25 points. It's a quarter of the seeding points value.
Head to head should be massively weighing with great significance in this, and there's just not. I don't understand it. That's just a mistake, guys. You can't have Blaze seated behind Caliendo. If that okay, here's what happens when you see the first version of the seeds and Chris Minto's the 1 and Levi Haynes is the 2. You have to say we are starting over completely. The whole process is messed up. Our bad, guys. We gotta revisit this. We're gonna come back with something that's not nonsensical because this is pure nonsense.
Yeah.
And the Caliendo Blaze one, I'd say, is equally nonsensical for identical reasons.
Well, and it's almost like, and maybe they will get fixed. Maybe they'll go turn around, but then it's like, what's the point of pre-seeds?
What's the point of
What
pre-seeds?
are we doing here? And maybe it's just like, hey, transparency. This is what the formula says.
Yeah.
This is what you guys want. Is this what you guys want? Yeah.
So I heard there was some pushback to the seeding criteria, and the Big Ten was like, no, we're going with this. So they're going with it.
All right. Stick to it, I guess.
All right. So that's the main thing at 65.
Yeah.
74, we have discussed. Haynes got the 2, Minto the 1. Is it going to matter to Levi? Probably not. He beats everybody, right? But it's just an odd looking thing, and it does make his path tougher.
I mean, if you're Bowman and Harchla at the 4-5, you're like, no,
let's go.
These are great.
Like, I think they did a good job. Yeah. Honestly, I commend the Big Ten and their leadership, their vision for properly seeding this tournament. No. But yeah, Harchla honestly has got to be like, man, I can make the finals here. So yeah, it would be a Levi versus Kennedy likely semi, and Minto would get the winner of Harchla Mantanona. I would favor. Wait, didn't Harchla beat Bo? 100%.
Yeah,
he did. It's crazy when they're back to back like that, and the one dude beat the other.
Yep.
He beat him at the duel. I remember that vividly. Yeah, that's kind of wild. All right.
Lenny Pinto down at the 10 is,
bro, but he's kind of been rough this year.
That's a valid seed. It's just weird to see him.
Or what are these people saying?
So we need to seed it.
Thank you, Hayes Lift. I agree. OG Trace acting like that wasn't him. It was definitely him.
Jazz base.
Yeah. Hi, Hunter Harrison. Okay. 184. I already told y'all, Angelo Ferrari's the 8. I talked about on FRL that this was a possibility. And with Rocco Welsh at the 1, it would be a Ferrari Welsh quarterfinal. We thought this would be an NCAA final. It's going to be a conference quarterfinal if these seeds don't change.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Also, Fishback is at the 6. Seems like behind Chris Moore.
He did lose to Brock.
He lost to Brock. Beat Gabe. Yeah, it's just. I mean, that's the
Gabe Arnold doesn't help.
It's like the Illinois schedule where like sometimes it helps.
Yes.
With Spencer Moore and here Chris Moore. It maybe just helps the Moores. But then it hurts Lucas Bird because he's not getting the same competition.
Yes.
But yeah, who did Chris Moore wrestle? Or just lost to Allred and McAnally. So he's got a better conference
record. Okay.
So it is. And he did beat Brockman.
That's a nice one. But he's seated directly behind him.
Yeah,
so.
Okay. All right.
Tight dudes. Okay. All right, that's good. 197. Nothing. What you call him? Gabe Arnold's got the 13 seed, which I'm actually not opposed to this one. Like he's
a 184 pounder.
He's 174. He's wrestled, I think, 2 matches at 197 to no one in the field. I don't think you just give him a reputational seed. I think it's not you can't give him the 6 because it should be vibes based. But where does that put him in the bracket?
He's
13,
4, right?
Yes, he's got Branson John round 1. So that's a tough one.
And then it'll be Geog
if he beats Branson John,
right?
Which would be tough.
And then yeah,
it'd be Geog in the quarters.
And then Josh Barr.
Then Josh Barr. So Branson John, Luke Geog, Josh Barr. Then you're in the Big Ten finals.
Easy.
No problem. So that's the main thing there. I mean, McDaniel, Cotton, John, I think that's okay. I thought this weight, honestly, apart from Josh Barr, it's like a giant drop off there. It's not just because of Josh Barr's excellence. It's like, it's just not a lot of proven guys. This came to McDaniel was a surprise AA a year ago, and he's been solid this year. But
you want to be on that bottom side,
right?
For sure,
for real.
And then heavyweight,
Colmir Sola got the 4. Despite beating Nick Feldman, we saw that. He lost to AJ and Tay, right? Yeah. So that's. I don't quite understand it but for Feldman, it could be a golden opportunity because if you look at his path, Keter's up top and right? No,
Keter's 10.
He's the 10, so he would hit Hopke.
Hopke and then AJ.
So it's a very navigable path for Nick Feldman. He could very well make the finals here. Tay got the 1 seed, which
beat Feldman and Mirasola, but lost to AJ.
And Ferrari beat Tay, like you just said.
Ferrari beat Mirasola and Tay.
Yeah.
Lost to Feldman twice.
So, but it's still seated ahead of him.
I feel like I would have gone AJ 1, Kadali 2, Mirasola 3, Feldman 4, but
really?
I don't know. Well, just because Feldman lost to Gadali and he lost to 2 guys in the field.
2 guys in the field instead of 1 for him. Okay. In my opinion, which wrestler was dealt the most unfavorable hand?
Ooh, unfavorable.
I would say Rocco, PJ Duke.
Yeah, PJ. Yeah.
And then I would say, Bird, this is not I think they got the seed right with Bird, but him not being the one hurts.
If it stays at 74 seeds stay, it's like Patrick Kennedy, right? Like, who do you want to wrestle to make the finals? Levi Haynes or Chris Minto? Like, of course. Yeah, you want to wrestle Minto for sure.
Yeah. That's the other aspect of bad seeds. It's like, well, it's not just where you put the where you are in the bracket. It's like, well, how that changes the path. So yeah, just kind of a weird thing. What would be cool to know is like what the team scores spit out. We don't have that.
Yeah, I started doing that.
And then I made him do this video.
The other part about the Minto Cetus no one, he also lost to Kennedy this year. He's lost to the 2 and the 3.
You can't make it up. I don't know. Listen,
Yeah.
a lot of paranoia about the machines replacing us, guys. But when it comes to wrestling rankings, I'm feeling like we're a couple years off from being obsolete. So that's good.
Dude, also, Minto lost to Harshla this year, too. he split with Harshla and lost to Haynes and Kennedy.
I mean, I forgot about that. We got a poor boy question. We kind of like super chats only. Why isn't there college wrestling in the South? There's some. You're right. There's not much. Great high school wrestling scene here in Florida. SEC Wrestling Cup. That would be awesome.
Yeah,
I would like that. I'd like that. Virginia and North Carolina. North Carolina has like tons of programs.
Yeah.
South Carolina's got one. So there's some. But if you're in Florida, yeah, that's still a hike.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? We're about to sign off here if you guys don't have any questions, even though technically we shouldn't because the viewers just keep climbing.
I know.
The more we gap.
Here's the thing. So if so pre-seats today, and when are they going to change them by? Friday?
I'm sure they have the seating meeting on Friday.
Okay. So we're just going to be stuck with these for 5 days.
Yeah, just talking about this, speculating what the seeds are going to be changed to. And what we don't know, okay, Shane mentioned this on the thing. You have to be within 15 points to challenge it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We don't know those scores. Like, were Minto and Haynes within?
If they're 20 points apart.
Nope. You can't change it. You're stuck with it. But we don't know. Jax is in the Big 12. He got the one seed.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, he did. We talked about go to the FRL from today if you want to watch. We dove in a little bit to the Big 12 brackets, so I don't want to repeat that. So there is a process. I guess it's not really a seating meeting. I guess it is, but it has to be within a certain parameter to be changed. Yeah. Otherwise they can't do it.
I mean, the thing we haven't talked about, Jordan Williams is now wrestling.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Victor Voinovich is in at 157 for Iowa. He's the 10 seed.
So, okay, Caleb was ranting about this. Caleb, because I told him I thought this was going to happen. And he wanted Jordan to go. He's like, they made Jordan wrestle all the good guys, and he lost. And Voinovich got a bunch of easier matches. Now, they both wrestled Landon Rabadou, but it is true that – here's the thing, and here's what I told Caleb. I was like, you don't know what's happening we are only seeing Jordan and Victor on the mat. We don't know what else is going on. We don't know what other determining factors. I would say with all the knowledge I have of both of those wrestlers, watching them their entire careers, it does feel like Jordan has that X factor ceiling that he could. I mean, what he did last year is more significant than anything Victor Voinovich has done in his collegiate career. What's the reality of the situation? Both are unlikely to contribute meaningful points at the national tournament. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's just a guy that Tom trusts more. We don't know the reasons why. We're not going to hear them from Coach Brands. But yeah, so that is a surprise. I mean, that's a guy you brought in from the portal, not to watch, right? Not to sit, but that looks like the reality. I'll say this, on the other hand, we have seen Iowa in the past do this. They enter a name and they change the name. They did this with Teskey and Colin Schriever 2 years ago. If you remember, this was weird. So they entered Schriever the whole way. They changed it past the seating meeting.
Allocations, right?
So after you do it, there's a period of time you can change your wrestlers, but it will not change the seed. And there was a bylaw that said, okay, you go to the last seed if you do that. So when they swapped Teskey for Schriever, Brody wound up wrestling Bouzakis in the first round of the match. It was this insane match, and Brody ended up winning. And so I bring that up just to say Iowa has done this in the past. They've entered one guy all the way up to right before Big Tens when you can do your final ad drop, and they inserted Brody Teskey. And so that's what we could see here. We could see Williams ultimately goes. The decision, for all we know, maybe it hasn't been made yet.
Right.
But there is a mechanism to change entries. I'm not sure what day that is, but there is a day. It exists, and it's beyond today. I would suspect. Let me see if there's any other questions before we go. The greatest high school coach of all time. Who would you pick?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
Jeff
Michigan,
Buxton.
Roy Hall.
Jeff Buxton.
Great.
I said, let me see. Any other questions? How would you guys rank the 174th to the top 5 seeds? Levi is the undisputable top seed. Who do you think is most likely to knock him up? I think Minto gave him his toughest match this year.
Give him a tough, yeah.
I would say Harshla gave him his toughest match last year.
Yeah. Kennedy has had the best, I guess, kind of the best results.
Yeah.
And that he's beaten Minto. He's beaten Harshla. Lost to, who did he lose to? Bowman? Yeah.
Yeah. Weird. That crazy.
Yeah.
That was nuts. How do we feel about random buys? Big 12 versus buys for 1s and 2s. I like the set buys.
Yeah.
Because the random ones can kind of punish teams a little bit. I think the top 2 seeds should just get buys.
It's just law and order.
That makes sense. Law and order. And without laws, we're no different than the apes.
Yeah. Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Cosmo Kramer said that. Okay. You guys are out of questions, which means we're done. This was 26 minutes. Should we do this more?
I think it's great.
Every time Big Ten preseeds are bad, I promise
we're gonna do this.
We're gonna do this. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna put this up on the other things. Tyler said that's possible.
I think we can do that.
So okay. All right, spread the word. Thanks, guys. See ya. Hold on, we're still on. End.